Hello and hi, so in this build I tried to finish Dark Souls as a crystal now. You will have the crystal set, the crystal weapons, the Evelyn crossbow with the rapid fire shot. You will have for the rings the ring of favor and protection. You will have the heavy ring. What are the downsides of this build? Your armor will be pretty heavy, your equipment will be heavy. You will have the mid-roll. You will have only crystal weapons that scale with dex and with strength. So you have to both invest in strength and in dex. You will have no parry. The crystal shield doesn't parry, it has like a special animation if you press the parry button, but otherwise this build will be okay. The crystal weapons, we can only obtain them if we go to Blighttown. To the vendor in Lawton basically. So for the bosses that I can kill with crystal weapons, I'm going to pick up Claymore, I'm going to upgrade it to +5. We still need to kill the Capra Demon to access the depths and to access Blighttown. Upgrade your Claymore to +5. Getting clapped by Capra Demon. Beautiful dodge, and that's done. Down to the depths with the key. Harassing a rat. Yeah, then from Domhall we can buy our first crystal equipment, crystal spade sword, crystal shield. The only thing stupid about the crystal shield is we can't really parry. So that's going to be a problem in the whole time of the run, because we need, after some time, really to need our backstabs. Go again with the souls from the night, buy a crystal greatsword. Just a few backup weapons. Sulea's going to be destroyed in a few seconds. Yeah, that's it. And with Gating Dragon defeated, I have a few more souls to spend. I went down to Darkroot Garden to collect a few more souls. Always nice to get help from the rich. Upgrade level 20. Yeah, these NPCs gave me like a bunch of problems. Like the knights, the bandits, the mage. I died a few times, as you can see. And the last bandit down. This, I had like a few problems with the timing from this. After this, I grabbed the Heaven's Ring. Yeah, basically defeating a Heaven without backstab. It's quite a bit difficult and quite a bit risky. Down to Blighttown. So just before Blighttown with the souls we got like from Heaven, from the bosses, I bought the Armor of the Wise, because it will be a good training for our crystal set. We still have like a mid-roll. Yeah. It's always fun in Blighttown. I mean, you can avoid the gang fights and all, but yeah, sometimes you really suck at it, sometimes you fail. Yeah. I to fail just was that. Killing the Man-Eater to get a bit of support against Greylock. We do not really need it, but it's always like very appreciated. So against normal enemies I use the crystal sword until that. Against bosses, because the Crystal Great Sword has a bit more base damage, I use the Great Sword to kill them quicker, to kill them more effectively. But until this point I was like really afraid that I would break my crystal weapons. It isn't that much of a problem. I think I broke like in my first run, in the first half, like 2 crystal weapons or maybe 3, not much. But yeah. Because you can't repair your crystal weapons, that's always a problem. Backtracking to Undead World. That's a bit of a weird choice for the tutorial bosses. Because like normally you do Gargoyle, you do Capra and then Fela. But because I first wanted to do as much bosses as possible with the crystal weapons, I chose Gargoyle last, before Sands Fortress. That's the first bell. And onto Sands Fortress. Yeah. I mean, I had some fucking weird fails, as you can see in Sands this time around. The damage is decent against the serpents, but it's really not great. The crystal weapons, they scale like quality-wise, with dex and with strength. The Iron Golem, always a funny fight. You do like 100 damage per hit. Like it gets better in the later bosses, but like for the mid game, like Sans and Arno Londo, your damage is basically your damage output. Even with the Great Sword, it's like absolutely shit. It's not good. 100 damage per hit. We did kill him after all. Level 32, the stats, 20 strength, back to Arno Londo, back to Anal Rodeo. Saying hi to the Firekeeper, always nice to see her. I hate this fucking part. I hate this part. I mean, that part is okay from the crystal weapons. But the crystal weapons, the sword isn't that effective damage-wise that I can kill the guards with one hit. So you have to watch out. You have to stagger them. Another favorite part about Arno Londo. That's an absolutely weird way to die at that point. Yep. One time I actually like recorded my crystal weapon breaking. So you always have to have like a backup weapon for the crystal weapon. Because until we get the Lord Vessel, we can't actually like teleport and get like another weapon. We always have to backtrack if we want to buy another crystal sword, great sword, sword. So it's always good like at mid game to have like early game, mid game, to have like a few crystal weapons in stock that you can use. The first phase done. That was a really bad dodge. I mean, I quite enjoyed the first phase of mode in new game, normal new game. My opinion is going to change in new game class because that fight was horrible, but in normal new game it was quite okay. So after Ornstein and Smough, we got the Lord Vessel, I picked up the ring in favor and protection, and now we got both our rings for my build. So it's coming along. The last thing in the first part of the video that I'm going to show is me placing the Lord Vessel, and after that in the first part it's going to continue in the Duke's Archive with Thief, with that Lord fight. Yeah, I hope you tune in for the next video and see you around.